Okay, so let's have a look at the back today. I want to take everything from foundations of kind of a pelvis, rib cage, inner core musculature, and then build up outwards out of there. So we're gonna get the foundations in today. And for a back which moves good, I call it the sagittal plane. So into flexion where it curves at the back, and extension where it starts to arch at the back. We've got a few interesting bits of anatomy in here. We've got facet joints on the back, and in between each vertebrae, they're kind of like tiles sliding over each other. And they're all orientated in different positions, so they allow your spine to open and close here. And then we've got the discs in the middle, which are kind of the shock absorbers and create like a washer to create space between each of those vertebrae. So the idea of this exercise when we're building a foundation is to go, can we allow the rib cage and the pelvis just to oppose in that plane of motion? So if I grab two blocks, imagine this is a rib cage and this is a pelvis. So can the front bits open up and can the back bits open up? So we get this kind of in and out movement going. Now, quite often what we see is this. Instead of staying on the plane of motion here, we start to get some kind of shifting of the spine, which would look like this. If I was trying to extend my spine, then my hips would go forwards and my back would go back. Now, not altogether a bad motion as long as it's not causing discomfort, but for this, we want to teach the spine and the pelvis to stay on the plane. So we're just giving it a movement option. You should be able to do it in all sorts of different positions without discomfort. So this is just retraining things to stay in line. Now, when it comes to doing this exercise, I want you to familiar yourself with this bone down here, your sacrum, and then we've got the back of the ilia here as well, two little knobbly bits which you'll feel on your back. In a moment, I'm going to get you to lie on the floor, and I'm going to ask you to get the pressure nearer the top, just up there. So where these knobbly bits come in, and where we call this L5, is the top of your sacrum. As you get the pressure there, it'll kind of rock in and you will feel this bit of your back flatten down into the floor. Then I ask you to come back to kind of neutral or the other way a little bit. What will happen is that arch will start to lift up and the weight will go nearer down to the bottom of the sacrum. So let's have a little look at this in action. So run on back. I'm going to pull this up a tad so you can see my back. Cool. So from there, take the weight, just rock it so that the lower parts of your sacrum comes up, and the upper part, the bit where the lower back meets it, flattens into the floor. And you'll feel, and you should see, that there's no air behind my lower back. Then just like a rocking horse, I'm going to roll it the other way. You can see that that arch just starts to lift. So it's a very, very small movement. No discomfort. Some people, they find it a little more uncomfortable as the arch comes in. So just make it smaller. Come back to neutral if that's the case. The flexion, most people are good with that. The bit where it flattens into the floor, because we've got the floor in the way of making it too excessive in there. So again, just gently rolling and lowering. And I want you to do this with as little physical effort as possible. So no squeezing of the bottom, no clenching of the tummy, just a very small roll. And if there's a bit which you particularly like, which might be the flattening bit, kind of play more in that space. But again, go really, really gentle. And you might feel that your head starts to ever so slightly rock in time with your pelvis, which is a good sign. Cool. Try that one out, and then we'll add some more on next time.